Hello and welcome. Today we'll be looking at algebraic expressions that require two factorization steps. Let's begin. Factorize completely. So the first thing you want to do when you have something like this is to try and group them in a way that's common terms, as common as possible. So we do here we see that there's ax, and we also see there's bx, so that's something that's common, so we can bring them together. So that's 6ax plus 8bx. Okay, then here we do see there's a y and there's a y, so we're going to group them together. We start with the one that has the a, so that we arrange them in the proper order. Minus 9ay minus 12by. Okay, so now that we have grouped them, the next thing is that we're going to look for factors that are common to this group and factors that are common to that group. So technically we have two groups, the first group and the second group. So what are the common factors between 6ax and 8bx? Well, for one, 2 is common to 6 and 8, and then we also see that x is common, so we're going to use 2x as a common factor for the 2. So that's going to be 2x outside the bracket. 6ax divided by 2x, what we have left is what? 3a, plus 8bx divided by 2x will leave us with 4b. Okay, so now we have the first factorization, but we still have a second part of it, minus. So what is common between 9ay and 12by? Between 9 and 12, 3 is a common factor, and then ay and by, y is a common factor. And then there's a negative sign, so we're going to use a negative 3, 3y. Okay, negative 3y. So if you divide negative 9ay by negative 3y, you're going to have positive 3a. Okay, then negative 12by divided by negative 3y is going to give us positive 4b, positive 4b. Okay, so now if you look closely, you can see that on either side of the negative sign we do have a common factor. Okay, so we're going to do the second step of factorization. So first we're going to write this out as this is one factor that is common to both sides. Okay, so we're going to take that out. So 3a plus 4b, okay, into what is left over is what? 2x. And then if you take 3a plus 4b from the other side of the negative sign, what is left over is 3y. So now we have succeeded in factorizing completely. 6ax minus 12by minus 9ay plus 8bx into 3a plus 4b into 2x minus 3y. So essentially there are two steps of factorization. The first step, you group them together, and then you factorize, and then you find what is common to both sides of the sign, whether it's addition or division, addition or subtraction sign. And then once you find what is similar, then you factor that out as well, and then that gives you your final results. Factorize completely. X squared minus 2x minus 3xy plus 6y. So here we see the first thing is that let's inspect. So when you inspect, do you have can you group them together? So we see here x squared and 2x. Yes, we can group them together. You have something similar. Then xy and 6y. Yes, they have y which is similar, so we can call this group 1, and we can call this group 2. So after that we have labeled, the next thing is we want to look for the common factor. So the common factor for group 1, x and negative 2x. So the common factor there is going to be what? X. X is common too, because x squared is x times x, 2x is 2 times x, so x is common. So we can take x out, x. So x squared divided by x leaves us with x. 2x divided by x leaves us with 2. minus 3xy. So this time around, what is common between 3xy and 6y? Well, for one, 3 is common to both of them, and then y is common. So 3y. So in bracket, so when you divide negative 3xy by 3y, what you have is positive x. And then when you divide 6y by negative 3y, you have negative 2. Okay, so now we see that in this second step we have something that is common to on either side of the minus sign. So therefore we can factor out the common, that which is x minus 2. And what do we have left if we take out x minus 2 on this side? So we have x that is left over, and then on the other side, what do we have left over, which is 3y. So we have succeeded in factorizing x squared minus 2x minus 3xy plus 6y, and to give us x minus 2 into x minus 3y. Next question is 6n squared minus 4n plus 24n minus 16. So the first thing is, can we group them? Yes. So we see that those two have something in common, and these two also have something in common. So let's find also what's the common factor in the first group, and this is the second group. So what's the common factor? We see that 6n squared, the common factor between it and 4n, that will be 2n. How did I arrive at that? Remember how we usually do it. 6n squared is the same as what? 2 times 3 times n times n. 4n, well, that is 2 times 2 times n. After a while it becomes your second nature. You don't need to go through this long process. So 2 times 2, that is 4, and then there's n. So sorry, not 2 times 2, there's 2 there, and then there's n there, so that is 2n. So 2n is a common factor to both of them. So we will take out 2n, and then 6n squared divided by 2n. N cancels one of the n, and then what we have left is 1n, and then 2 goes in 6 3 times, so that leaves us with 3n minus 2n in 4n, that leaves us with 2, plus what's common to 24 and 16, 24n and 16? Well, 8 is common to both of them, so we can put 8 outside. 8 in 24n, we got 3n. Then negative 16 divided by positive 8 gives us negative 2. So now we see that on both sides there's something that's common, so we can divide both sides by 3n minus 2. So we take 3n minus 2 outside in the bracket, and then what we have left over is 2n plus 8. So factorize completely. 4x squared minus 6x into 12x squared y minus 18xy. So what's common between 4x squared and 6x? Yes, the common factor here is 2x. Okay, so 2x into 4x squared divided by 2x minus 6x divided by 2x. Okay, plus what is common between 12x squared y and 18xy? Well, between 12 and 18, 6 is common, and then xy appears to be common to both of them. So this is 6 xy. So when you divide 12xy, 12x squared y divided by 6xy minus 18xy divided by 6xy. Okay, so the xy is cancelled out. So what we have here is 2x into 2x minus 3 plus 6xy into 2x minus 3. Okay, so the next step is to factor out 2x minus 3. So 2x minus 3 in bracket, what we have left over is 2x plus 6xy. So in this lesson we have looked at 4-factor algebraic expression where you have to group them in twos and factorize them at least twice for you to be able to able to fully factorize them. So, and lastly, you want to remember to express the answer in the simplest possible form. That's it on factorization of algebraic expression part 4. Thank you for watching.